Now let's say this blog has users with email IDs and passwords, and they use it to post their comments. So now we want to take some input from the user, and then we want to save it in the database. But remember, HTML is just a front-end language and databases function in the back-end. So then what do? Well, here the form and input tags come into the picture. We can take the input from the user using the input tag and then use form tag to send this input to another file, which is the backend code file. Here, the data can be further processed. Now let's see how we can use the form and input tags. Let's create another web page for this. We again start by writing the HTML head, title and body tags like we had done earlier. Now, let's write a heading tag called register here. Now we open the form tag. Inside this we have an attribute called action, which is used to define the place where we want to send our input. We will study about this in the next topic. So we write action, and as value we give the path of the file where all the data of the form will be sent. For now we are giving it a random file name. Now we write the content and then nest the input inside this. So we write username and then the start input tag. Inside the start input tag, we have the type and name attributes. The type attribute defines the type of input that we want to take. So for usernames, we want the input to be in the form of text. So the value of type attribute will be text. Now we give it a name, that is uname, and then we close the tag. This name is not displayed as part of the content but is used to access the information that is stored inside this input field. Now let's create another input field for password. So we write password as part of the content of the form tag, and inside this we again have the input tag. Now here the type of input we want is password. That is, the password will not show but will remain hidden when someone enters it in the input field. We give it a name password. Now let's use line breaks here at the end of both the input tags so that they appear in different lines. Now we need to submit this information, so we have another input tag with type attribute and submit as its value. And we want this not to be an input field but to be a click button. So we use another attribute called value to define the content that will be written on the button. We use the attribute value and give it the name go. Now we close the form tag. Now we know all this data is going to get to this another file. So the next question that arises is, how is this data sent? For this, two methods are used, get and post. These methods are used as attribute value pairs in the form tag. Let us look at what each one of them does. The get method is used to fetch output based on the given input, while the post method is used for submitting or updating the data in the database. In get, the data is passed as name value pairs in the URL, while in post, the data is sent in the body of the HTTP request and not in the URL. So let's define an attribute called method and set its value to get. Now let's run the script in the browser. On entering the values and hitting go, the URL looks like this. Now it shows an error message here because we haven't made the PHP file where all this input will go for processing, but we'll learn how to make it in the upcoming topics. So as you can see, the get request is passed as name value pairs in the URL itself, which means that we cannot use the get method for entering login and password details. We can use the post method here and see the result by entering data in the input fields and hitting go. Here, as you can see, the data is not sent in the URL and hence it is not visible. So we can use the post method for entering username and password details.